Also developing this morning, cities across the U.S. boosting security for Hanukkah events and celebrations after the deadly terrorist attack in Australia. Over the weekend, at least 15 victims were killed. Another 40 were injured. Investigators say the gunman, a son and father originally from Pakistan, targeted the Jewish community during Hanukkah celebrations on Bondi Beach in Sydney. The father was shot and killed by police. The son is in the hospital. A heroic bystander was able to help disarm one of them. You can see in this dramatic video that has gone viral online. 43-year-old Ahmed Al-Ahmed, a local fruit shop owner, risked his own life wrestling the shotgun away before knocking that gunman to the ground. Ahmed did suffer some gunshot wounds as a result, but he is expected to recover.
And in Australia, you probably read there's been a very, very brave person, actually, who went and attacked frontally one of the shooters and saved a lot of lives. So very brave person who's right now in the hospital, pretty seriously wounded. So great respect to that man that did that. But we're here for a different reason. We're here to celebrate Christmas and to celebrate, and I think today we can very say loudly we celebrate Hanukkah, because that was such a horrible attack. That was a purely anti-Semitic attack.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly blaming Australia's government, saying it failed to stop anti-Semitism before it turned deadly. The National News Desk's Angela Brown joins us now with more on this. Angela?
And Jan, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu basically at this point is trying to connect the terrorist attack targeting that Hanukkah celebration that killed at least 15 people to Australia's decision to recognize Palestinian statehood. To put this all in perspective, anti-Semitic incidents have surged in Australia and really around the world since that Hamas terror attack on October 7th. Well, Netanyahu is slamming the Australian government for failing to curb anti-Semitism in Australia, calling out their prime minister for his decision to recognize or say Palestinian statehood, saying the move poured fuel on the anti-Semitic fire and rewards Hamas terrorism. Listen.
Your government did nothing to stop the spread of anti-Semitism in Australia. You did nothing to curb the cancer cells that were growing inside your country. You took no action. You let the disease spread. And the result is the horrific attacks on Jews.
Well, the Australian Prime Minister was asked about that, Anthony Albanese, about Netanyahu linking the attack to the recognition of Palestinian statehood, saying he didn't agree, of course, and quote, saying this is a moment for Australians to come together. That's precisely what we'll be doing. Right now, there's no verified intelligence that the Australian anti-Semitic terrorist attack was even motivated by Palestinian political causes or directed by Palestinian groups, but some American politicians are still backing Netanyahu. You have Democratic Senator John Fetterman siding with Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, slamming Democrats apparently who support Palestinian statehood, calling it an absolute betrayal for Israel and for Jews worldwide. But the American policy, of course, when it comes to the Middle East is very complicated. You have past administrations, both Republican and Democrats, who have supported that two-state solution. President Trump was asked about it after he signed that ceasefire, you may remember, and he said he has not commented on that.
The terror attacks, meantime, in Syria, Australia, and in Washington, D.C. last month are bringing the threat of radical Islamic terrorism to the forefront.
What's the connection between Syria and Australia? Radical Islam. Radical Islam wants to kill all the Jews. They want to kill 2 soldiers from Iowa. This is a religious war. They hate us because we're Christians, we're infidels, and they want to kill all the Jews. To the Australian government, you let your people down. To every Western government who's recognized a Palestinian state, you're rewarding killing Jews. It's the most irresponsible decision I can imagine. What state are you recognizing? Is it controlled by Hamas? What are you recognizing here? When you kill Jews, you get a state, you're going to get more killing of Jews. So I would urge the West to get tougher on radical Islam.
Florida Congressman Randy Fine wrote a few weeks ago 2 National Guardsmen were shot in D.C. by a Muslim terrorist. Muslim terrorists killed 12 innocent lives in Australia on the first day of Hanukkah. How many more times is this going to happen until we wake up? Islam is not compatible with the West.